Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Karibuni tena kwa channel yetu Mind Mastery Tutor, na kama kawaida yetu tuna encourage wanafunzi wa subscribe na pia msisahau kushare hizi video. Indices ni grade 10 as a grade 10 topic. No meant si sana for grade 10 only, but for those who are currently in form 3 and form 4 pia weza wakaiangalia. Now, for the first part of indices is that you should know how to write numbers in index form. Otherwise, it becomes much harder. To solve other equations that are written in indexes, or to solve equations related about indices. Now, for example, question A, right? Question 1 says that you should write these numbers in index form. Question A being 625. Question B 243. Now, what you can do, the easiest way you can do is draw a box, just like an LCM box, and then you divide by a number which is common to 625. So let's say you divide by maybe, obviously 5, because always dividing a 3 or a 2. So the only prime number that you can divide by is 5. Now 625, you divide in a 5, it gives you 125, and then divide by 5 mpaka answer ikupe 1. So you divide continuously by 5. So 125 divided by 5, 25. Then you divide by 5 again, then divide by 5 to give you 1. So lazima ikupe mwisho 1 hapo. So this in index form. Remember indices, if you've studied about indices, in case you haven't studied, because you refer to a topic at grade 9. So what is an index? So in case watakuona hiyo video, you'll find it at the end of this video. And also for those who want to watch the playlist for grade 10, it will be on the description there or in the comment section. So obviously hii ni 5 to the power of 4. So this is an index. So now let's try question B as well. So for 243, obviously the number you can divide onto 243 is 3 itself. So divide by 3. So 243 divided by 3, I think 81. 81 divided by 3, 27. Divide by 3 again, giving you 9. Divide by 3, giving you 3. Then divide by 3, giving you 1. So therefore, this is 3 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 to the power of 5. A very easy question. So now let's go to the other question. Now, question 2 is a question that you can try it by yourself and give me the answer there. Hopefully you've paused it and tried it. Question 2, express the following in index form. The same thing. Now, there's a number that you can divide onto 1024. Obviously, need 2. So 1024 divided by 2. So giving you 5. 1, 2. Divide by 2. 512 divided by 2 gives you 256. Divide by 2 gives you 128. Divide by 2 obviously gives you 6 and 4. Divide by 2 is 32. Then divide by 2, 16. Divide by 2, 8. Then divide by 2, gives you 4. Obviously unaendelea mpaka upate 1. Then divide by 2, 2. Divide by 2, 1. So hii ni 2 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. 2 to the power of 10. So hii answer yake 2 to the power of 10. Or you can also write it into 4. I don't know. Kama waweza obviously waweza divide na 4 mpaka mwisho. So if you divide by 4, obviously it gives you, let me see, 4 to the power of 4, 4 to the power of maybe 6, 4 to the power of 5. So 1024. You can also write it into the 4 to the power of 5 as well, but whichever answer, it's just the same. For the 81, obviously, you divide by 3 to give you 27, divide by 3, 9, then divide by 3, 3, then divide by 3, gives you 1. So this one is 3 to the power of 4. Okay, for the 10,000, okay, you divide by, let's say divide by 10, because that's the simplest one. So divide by 10, which gives you 1,000, then divide by 10, which gives you 100, then divide by 10, gives you 10, then divide by 10, gives you obviously 1. So this is 10 to the power of 4. But from the looks of this, si lazima hata uchore boxi hapa. Wajua tu how many 10s are there? 4. So it's supposed to be 10 to the power of 4. For the 512, obviously the same scenario. You do the same thing. So divide by 2, you get 256. Divide by 2, you get 128. Divide by 2, you get 64. Divide by 2, 32. Divide by 2, 16. Divide by 2, 8. Divide by 2, 4. Divide by 2, 2. And lastly, divide by 2 gives you 1. So this basically is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is equal to 2 to the power of 9. Yeah, as simple as that. So if it's 4, 1, 2, it can be written as 4 to the power of something. But can it be written to the power of 3? No. So that's the only answer. For 13,824, let's try it out, though it's a big number. Okay, let's try 13,824, but now let's use a different method. Let's use the factor tree. So 13,824, let's divide it by 2. So if you take that, divide by 2, it gives you 6,912. Okay, 6,912, and that's 1. If you divide by 3, well, you still divide by 2, 3,456. Then divide by 2 again, 1,728. Then divide by 2 again, 864. And I think we'll continue for a longer time, but all in all. Then divide by 2, 432. Then divide by 2 once again, 216. 216. Then divide by 2, 108. Again, don't know how many divisions are we going to do, but as long as you will be unable to understand. So this is 5 and 4. Divide by 2, giving you 27. Now here, you can't divide by 2, therefore we divide by 3 to give you 9 and 3 and 3, 3. So if you see it, how many 2's do you have? How many 3's do you have? We have 3 3's. For the 2's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 7, 8, and finally 9. So this one can be written as 2 to the power of 9 times 3 to the power of 3. Very tricky question. Right. Now let's go to the other part. Now let's try question 3. Work out the following by applying the laws of indices. Now, for the laws of indices, we had already discussed it in grade 9, but in case you missed it out, you can also look at the end of the video, but we'll just say it faster. We say that if you multiply and they have the same base, you add the powers. The second rule was if you divide, obviously, you subtract the powers. The third rule was if you have two powers outside, you multiply those two powers to give you only one power, m times n. If you have an index with power 0, should give you 1. Okay. If you have a fractional indices, which is m over n, we say that the n, which is the denominator, becomes the root. So it's nth root of a, then power m. And the sixth rule, if your power is negative, then basically just do the reciprocal. But remember, the power will be positive after reciprocating. So that's our main rules. Now, for the first question, you use both rules here, which is the first rule and the second rule. Now, we say that if it comes to multiplication, they have the same powers. You add the powers. So 5 plus 12. I remember that's 3 to the power 9. Now, 5 plus 12 gives you 3 to the power of 17. Divide by 3 to the power of 9. Then you subtract the powers. So 17 minus 9 to give you 3 to the power of 8. Let's try question B. Now for question B, we say you have two powers, therefore you need to multiply those two powers. So you're supposed to take 2 times 3, multiply 3 times 4. This gives you a to the power of 6 times a to the power of 12. And therefore add the powers, so 6 plus 12 to give you a to the power of 18. You see how easy it is. Now let's go and try some questions out. Now question 4, work out the value of the unknown, which is 81 to the power of t times 3 times 9 to the power of 2t plus 54 equal to 81. Very easy question. Now obviously we make them in base or write them in index form. Make sure that they all have the same bases. So obviously the lowest number is 3. So at the end of the day, we're going to make or most of the numbers to be 3 power something. But for the first thing you need to do is to put the plus 54 to the other side. So it's like we're collecting like sums. So 81 minus 54, it should give us 27. So we've done that. And obviously 81 to the power of t times 3 times 9 to the power of 2t. Now let's make all have base 3. So 3 to the power of 4 is supposed to be 81, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So 3 to the power of 4 is 81. Remember, there's another power. So if you have two powers, what do? You multiply 2 powers, 4 times 2, t, to give you 3 to the power of 4t times 3 times 9. It can be written as 3 to the power of 2. But remember also we have another power here. And 27 can be written as 3 to the power of 3. So obviously 2 powers, 2 times 2t to give you 40. Very simple question. Now we have this. Obviously we are multiplying, and remember this is 3 to the power of 1. So if the bases are the same, we add the powers. So all these powers, if you add them, it should be equal to this. So just ignore the bases of 3 and just focus on the powers. So we say that 40 plus 1 plus 40 should be equal to 3. The powers should be equal to each other. So collect like terms. 40 plus 40 gives you 8t plus 1, which is equal to 3. And remember, 8t plus 1 equal to 3. Put the 1 to the other side, gives you 2. 8t equal to 2 divided by 8. Divided by 8t is equal to 1 over 4. So very simple answer, right? Now let's go to the other question, which you can solve it by yourself. Question 5. Use the laws of indices to work out the following. 5x squared y to the power 4 times 5x cubed y squared. So what you need to do is you take 5 times 5 to give you 25. X squared times x cubed is supposed to be x 5, because you need to add 2 and 3. And then y squared, remember y power 4 is supposed to be y 6. So the x squared, when you multiply to the x power 3, you usually add the powers. So it's 2 plus 3, giving you x to the power 5. For the y squared, y power 4 times y squared gives you y 4 plus 2, which is y to the power of 6. Okay, so yeah, so that's your answer. Let's go to the other question. Now let's try this question B. 25 y to the power of 25 to the power of y minus y 1 times 5 to the power of 2y minus 2 equal to 1. Now we said anything raised to power 0 is usually 1. Okay, now, but let's start with 25. So 25 can be written as 5 squared, but remember there's another power, 5 to the power of 2y minus 2. Since all the bases are 5, so it means that the 1 should be written as 5 to the power of 0. So open up, so you're supposed to take 2 times y and 2 times negative 1 to give you 5 to the power of 2y minus 2 times 5 to the power of 2y minus 2 equal to 5 to the power of 0. Now add the powers. So it gives you 2y minus 2 plus 2y minus 2, which is equal to 0. Okay, so 2y plus 2y gives you 4y minus 2 gives you minus 4, which is equal to 0. So 4y equal to 4, divide by 4, divide by 4, y is equal to 1. So that's the value of y. The other question is this one. 2a cubed times 2a to the power of 5 divided by 2a to the power of 5. Now, there's a simple way of solving this, which is just direct. So the direct way is just this. Answer this, you answer this, and the final answer you get is this one. The longest way maybe can be this. 2a to the power of 3 times 2a to the power of 5 divided by 2a to the power of 5. So 2 times 2 obviously is 4. Now a is supposed to be 3 plus 5, which is just 8. And then you have 2a to the power of 5. So 4 divided by 2 gives you 2. A 8 minus 5, because so it's division, so you subtract the powers, therefore giving you a to the power of 3, which is just the same thing. In case you get a question like this, to answer it in terms of that form, obviously this 8 can be written as 2 to the power of 3 times 32 can be written as 2 to the power of 5 to the power of 5. Let me make sure, yeah, 2 to the power of 5 divided by 64 can be written as to the power of 6. So obviously the same thing, add the powers 2 to the power of 8, then subtract the powers 2 to the power of 2. This one, another question. So 5 to the power of 2n plus 2, which is this, divided by 625 power half. Now 625 power half can be written as the square root of 625, because we've already studied this and we said anything raised to power fraction, usually your m becomes your power and your n becomes your root. So 2 is just basically square root, okay, which is equal to 25 squared, which is also 5 power 2. There's also power 2 there. 5 squared is 25. There was also another power 2 outside, so therefore giving you 5 to the power of 4. Okay, so this is 5 to the power of 2n plus 2 divided by square root of 625. I think it's 5. 25 times 25, yeah. So square root of 625 is 25, which also can be written as 5 squared, which is equal to 5 to the power of 4. Now subtract the powers. 2n plus 2 minus 2, which is equal to 5 to the power of 4. So obviously, this one will give you 2 minus 2, 0, 5 to the power of 2n equal to 5 to the power of 4. Just equate the powers, which is 2n equal to 4, divide by 2, divide by 2, therefore n is equal to 2. Yeah. Question 8. We're doing a lot of questions so that you can able to understand how indices works. Now this one, obviously 2 powers, so 2, but remember the most common question and the most question which a lot of students get wrong. Now when you're cubing this, you're also supposed to cube 2. Okay, so that's one thing that you should know. So you're cubing 2, and also at the same time you're cubing p squared. So again, squaring 2, then you're also squaring q cubed, divide by obviously 2 cubed, and then we're cubing p, and you're also cubing q. So 2 cubed is 8, and p, obviously you have 2 powers. 2 times 3 gives you p power 6, and then you have 2 squared, which is 4, and 3 times 2 gives you q to the power of 6. 2 cubed is supposed to be 8, p cubed, and q cubed. So now, after getting that, obviously 8 times 4 is supposed to be, and by the way, if you're not keen, but still the same thing, but you can opt to start with division. Let's start with this one. 8p squared times 4q to the power of 6 divided by 8p cubed q cubed, which is just the same thing. You can multiply first, or you can divide, depending on how you perceive the question. Now I prefer doing this. Okay, so 8 times 4 gives you 32, p power 6 q to the power of 6 divided by 8 p cubed q cubed. Okay, the next step, 32 divided by 8, giving you 4. Then if you're dividing the powers, to subtract 6 minus 3, and q obviously is supposed to be 6 minus 3, giving you as 4p cubed q cubed. So yeah, that's your answer. Now I think we should try the last question, last subtopic, then we can call it a day. Now this type of question is very tricky if you're not keen. Now obviously this one can be written as 2 cubed, so and there's x, so it's supposed to be 2 to the power of 3x plus 2 to the power of 3x minus 1 equal to, just leave it to be 96. Okay, now you can break this into 2 to the power of 3 x divided by all times 2 to the power of negative 1, which is equal to 96. Okay, because if you're multiplying, basically you're adding the powers, so at the end of the day you get this one. So I'm just restructuring it again. So 2 to the power of 3x minus 1 can be written as 2 to the power of 3x times 2 to the power of negative 1. This is x. Now let 2 to the power of 3x to be any letter, let's say a. Okay, so where we have 2 to the power of 3x, pale ambapo kuna 2 to the power of 3x utaweka A. Now obviously hapa pia ni A nyingine times 2 to the power of -1. Tunasema hii ni nini? Tufanya reciprocal, which is 1 over 2 to the power of +1, which is equal to 96. So half times A itakupa a half A. Okay, and A plus a half A, which is 1 plus a half, obviously at the end of the day itakupa 1.5 A. 1.5 A can be written as 3 over 2A. So for you to get A times 2 over 3 times 2 over 3, A is therefore 96 times 2 over 3, which is 64. So that is your A, but that's not your answer. So we say A tumpata 64, but tulisema let 2 to the power of 3x equal to A, where A is now 64. 64 can be written as 2 to the power of maybe 4, 6. But let me just make sure. Yeah, 2 to the power of 6. Equate the powers. 3x equal to 6. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. X is equal to 2. So yeah, that's your answer. But there's also another way which we can solve it. There are many ways. Okay, but let me use this other way as well. So we say 2 to the power of 3x plus 2 to the power of 3x minus 1 equal to 96. Okay, so you make 2 to the power of 3x our key, our factor. So if it becomes our factor, therefore this one becomes 1. And the other one, it should give you how much? Because it's supposed to be this way. Then okay, you just remain with 2 to the power of -1 at the end of the day. Okay, now 2 to the power of -1 is written as 1 over 2, which is equal to 96. 1.5, which is 3 over 2, times 2 to the power of 3x, which is equal to 96. Let's remove this. 2 times 2 over 3 times 2 over 3. This one gives you 32. 64. Again, 2 to the power of 3x equal to 64. 64 can be written as 2 to the power of 6. And therefore, 3x is equal to 6. Divide by 3 gives you 2. So yeah. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also share it to your friends. Okay. So in case also you want tuition classes for Form 3, Form 4, basically 0797, communicate through us and don't miss out this session. So yeah, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.